It's official, guys. Americans are finally cleaning out Democratic depravity at every level. Now, this just in, Dalton's super mayor, aka America's worst mayor, Tiffany Henyard, just got the boot as residents say that they want her voted out. You got to see her reaction after all of this. Here, check it out.
We are awaiting Mayor Henyard to arrive. We will give another 5 minutes.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard delayed the meeting with no explanation. It gave residents something quickly to complain about.
Just sacrificed 32 minutes to an individual that doesn't give a damn about anybody's time but hers. Okay?
Mayor Henyard listened as one by one, residents gave her an earful.
Very much so concerned about this culture of corruption.
They spoke about the change they want to see.
Clean House 2025, and clock is ticking. The clock is ticking.
That was the ongoing theme as people took more personal jabs at the mayor.
We cannot let her get back and to be the mayor, and we already know she's not gonna win that supervisor seat. That is done.
After taking the insults, the mayor threw her own verbal punches.
The disrespect that you guys displayed at that mic is unbelievable.
While the FBI continues its probe into the village and questions still remain about the village spending, Henyard drives 1 point home.
I have the seat now, whether you like it or not. I am your mayor.
And about her losing that seat in 2025, she told the crowd,
I won my seat by 82%. Know this, I am gonna come through on a landslide just like Trump did. Know that I will be victorious in the upcoming election.
You heard her, guys. She won her seat with 82% support, but now she's probably going to lose it with about 100% support. And guess what? They've already thrown her off the ballot in her other job as Thornton Township, Illinois supervisor. Tiffany Henyard had a public meltdown and the crowd literally cheered after the results. Watch.
Folks lined up early and in the cold for the Thornton Township Democratic Caucus. Everyone outside and those inside the auditorium were here to vote on who will be the Democratic nominees in the township, including the coveted supervisor position. And Tuesday night's caucus left the current supervisor, Tiffany Henyard, fuming.
You didn't run none of this the right way. Illegal. Napoleon.
That's Henyard pleading her case to committeeman State Senator Napoleon Harris. As a committeeman, Harris set the rules Tuesday night, the first caucus in Thornton Township in nearly 30 years.
The person who says this seems to be outdated, you say what to that?
People in Thornton Township may be new to caucuses because they haven't had them in a while, but this has been the tradition for many other townships around the state.
And those in this room came out to see if Henyard would get the nomination, an uphill battle for the controversy surrounding her administration. Henyard was not in favor of the caucus.
I will be suing everybody tomorrow. This is illegal.
This is illegal in your opinion?
Illegal.
Okay. So let's talk about it. I mean, your concern is you brought people in to free bus.
All the people outside. They let one person in.
Henyard used Thornton Township buses to transport supporters, mostly seniors. Yet many of the supporters did not get inside the packed auditorium of 600 people.
This is a process that's been going on way before me. And it's just I'm exercising my rights as the committeeman to hold a caucus.
And it is legal. When it was all said and done, the caucus voted and Henyard did not get the nomination. Yet listen to who the caucus placed on the ballot.
The Democratic slate that would represent Thornton Township at the April 1st consolidated election reads as follows. For Supervisor, Napoleon Harris.
Henyard left emotional and upset knowing her name will not appear on the April ballot, to the pleasure of many in the room.
I think it's very unfair that I don't get a chance to make the decision of who I want where.
And who did you want to vote for?
I wanted to vote for Tiffany.
She came late, and then she had an attitude because they couldn't get in.
Henyard can only become a write-in candidate, which her supporters say is not impossible.
I think enough people know her name to write her name in, and I believe we could still win it.
I mean, seriously, guys, she called the process illegal and then buzzed in her own supporters using taxpayer resources. All I can say, guys, is congratulations to those citizens for liberating their city. Make America great again. And that starts with the local level, right, guys? I mean, just watch as the scandal-plagued Democratic mayor of Dalton talks about actually arresting political opponents.
Hey, guys, come on in, come on in. It's your favorite super mayor, Tiffany A. Henyard, the people's mayor. I will be seeking arrests for individuals involved I will be pressing charges. It's a lot. And that's just me telling you a little bit. Because all this point the finger to Tiffany or allow me, I'm over it. Now it's time for me to speak. As I say, truth speaks. That's what time it is. So stay tuned. In your turn. Not when it's time to run and you're promising me the world. No. Residents, hear me. You don't need that. You don't want that. It's time out for that. It's time now to make a stand with your supervisor, Tiffany A. Henyard, a.k.a. Super Mayor, Mayor of Dalton, the first female in both places. It's time. And I want women to stand up. Stop fighting each other. I never seen this crab in the barrel mentality. I just haven't. But, like I said, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. But what I want us to do is band together. Because it's unity amongst community for me. It always has been. You ain't never going to see a politician that do 40 events in a year. Who overworks themselves? You got to care if you're going to put in that much work. Who going to make events for the kids and the youth? Who gonna make sure they always do something?
Despicable is exactly what my uncle called it. Let me guess her next move is that she's gonna be blaming racism and sexism and not take any accountability whatsoever, right? Sound familiar, right guys? This is exactly the kind of news that has made Americans overwhelmingly support Trump both in the Electoral College and in the popular vote. And guess what? Even now, a majority of Americans support Trump's agenda in his incoming administration.
I will govern by a simple motto. Promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try, we have to try. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it. Because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before.
Well, Trump is already vowing to get to work on day one. He's looking to crack down on illegal immigration, kickstart American energy, and reestablish our global standing. And a new poll shows that a majority of Americans support Trump's vision for our country. Pew Research found that 53% of Americans approve of President Trump's plans and policies ahead of his second term.
I can just imagine how relieved people were when the Illinois super mayor lost their Democratic nomination to Thornton Township Supervisor, a position that she currently holds alongside with being mayor of Dalton. Instead, Illinois State Senator and Thornton Township Democratic Committeeman Napoleon Harris overwhelmingly won the nomination. And Henyard, being her usual self, said that they didn't run none of this the right way and that it was illegal. And just to be clear, guys, Henyard can still be on the ballot in April for Thornton Township Supervisor as a write-in or independent candidate. Now, I'm not sure that they're going to do that though. Now, what is confirmed is that after losing the nomination, Henyard was heard shouting that she would be suing everyone involved in the process. Though the people's fight is not over. They may have gotten rid of her in Thornton, but Henyard, well, Henyard is still currently running for re-election as Dalton mayor, even as she faces a ton of ongoing scandals for allegedly embezzling funds and politically targeting her opponents. Her office is also facing an investigation by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. So far, Lightfoot's investigation into the village of Dalton's financial situation revealed in a preliminary report that Dalton's general fund balance was $5.61 million in 2022. But by May of 2024, the balance had dropped to a deficit of $3.65 million. Lori Lightfoot also disclosed that Henyard, she used the village credit card to make purchases on Amazon, Target, Walgreens, Wayfair's, and even other retailers. One particular statement actually dropped draws, and it raised a lot of eyebrows as the mayor had dropped $33,000 on January 5th, 2023 on Amazon. Can you just imagine, guys, just spending $33,000 of taxpayer money on Amazon? Wow, like I keep saying after every video, democratic depravity, it just really runs really deep in this country, right? And we got to get rid of all of it at every level. Drop a quick yes in the comments, guys. Give this video a thumbs up to show your support, and I highly recommend subscribing to the channel and turning on all notifications in case you haven't yet. But don't go anywhere, guys. We have a lot more to cover in today's video. So honestly, I don't think that I stressed enough just how epic that caucus meeting was that booted out the controversial mayor. The Dalton mayor, dressed in hot pink pants and a black winter coat, she was seen yelling at Harris, who holds the right to decide whether a nominee is determined through a caucus or a primary, as well as other political members inside of a gymnasium as residents stood right behind her. She just kept yelling, "Let the people come in. Let them come in. Let the people come in." Apparently, she was claiming that her supporters were locked out of the event. But then again, she was also shown to be bussing in supporters using taxpayer resources. God knows what else she may have used to get those supporters on the buses, if you know what I mean. But yeah, guys, Harris responded to her saying, "You know what? The motion has been seconded. All in favor of Napoleon Harris being nominated for the April 1st consolidation, Thornton Township, say aye." Henyard just continued to shout at him as the community quickly joined in a collective aye. They stood up, they clapped their hands in praise. But it got even better as she continued to stand up there just oblivious to the township's decision before somebody told her to just get out of there. And for good reason. Henyard, she's just really been shrouded in controversy, including even getting evicted from her home for owing over $3,300 in rent payments. She also threw an $85,000 party for her town in September, even though she had been cut off from spending by the state for sinking her town into debt. The event cost about $50,000 in taxpayer money to cover performances and more than $35,000 on activities, equipment, and staff. In August, the Illinois State Comptroller had to cut off funding to Dalton after Henyard failed to hand over finance reports for the use of about $135,000. Susanna Mendoza, the comptroller, threatened to fine the town $78,600 if Henyard does not turn over the reports. And these are just the latest in the self-proclaimed super mayor history of ridiculous spending habits that involve the misuse of the town's funding and plunging the small town $5 million into debt. In record time too, guys, as the Democrat was elected in 2021 and is Dalton's first female mayor. A Democrat spending people's money in record time and leaving the people she vowed to serve in debt sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? And so this is why America overwhelmingly booted out Democrats and gave Trump the keys to the White House and the Congress. I mean, it's not just the swing states. Trump benefited from a noticeable shift to the right in nearly every state. Red states shifted redder when compared to 2020. Trump won Florida by about 10% more percentage points in 2024 than he did in 2020. Texas made a roughly 8-point shift. Blue states also shifted toward Trump. New York made an 11 percentage point jump toward him when compared to 2020. Virginia shifted 5 points in his favor. Rhode Island moved 8 points in his direction. I mean, just look at this map, guys. Long story short, just a few states really did not produce a noteworthy shift for the president-elect, including Washington and Utah. Not only that, President-elect Donald Trump won more black voters than any other Republican candidate was able to do in nearly 50 years. This is coming from CNN's own. Trump's voter base remained white and working class people, but the rise in the number of other groups, including black, Hispanic, and first-time voters, it allowed Trump a pathway to the White House. According to Enton, these are the kinds of numbers that you would never have thought Donald Trump would have been able to gain so much support among 8 years ago when he first went up against Hillary Clinton. Nationally, he roughly doubled his support among black men under 45 years old compared to 2020, with around 3 in 10 in the age group voting for him, including yours truly, of course. In total, 21% of black men voted for Trump, which has 2% more than in 2020. And just recently, guys, it became official. Not only did the Republican Party win control of the United States Senate, but it also maintained leadership over the House of Representatives after some of the last outstanding races were called. So that puts the party and its champion, President-elect Trump, in a strong position. They call it the Republican trifecta, controlling the presidency plus both chambers of Congress. And experts say that the trifecta may pave the way for sweeping changes. Todd Belt, a professor at George Washington University's Graduate School of Political Management, he said that the level of opportunity that Donald Trump has right now is very high. Now, honestly, it's kind of like 2016 all over again. In that election, Republicans notched majorities in the House and the Senate too. But unlike what happened back in 2016's election, when the party couldn't get their act together, Republicans have now firmly coalesced around Trump this time around. Trump has also had years to gather support for his second term, having launched his re-election campaign as far back as 2022. So according to Professor Belt, Trump will be very, very strong, especially if you add the conservative supermajority on the Supreme Court and its recent ruling granting broad immunity to presidents. Even in his advertisements this year, he pledged to throw off the sick political class. As president, Trump will have the power to impose tariffs, alter how immigration is enforced, and make sweeping changes to government agencies, workers, even without congressional approval. But apart from that, Republican Congress has big things planned as well. Policies like locking in Trump's proposed tax cuts, rolling back federal energy regulations, and surging resources to the U.S.-Mexico border to prevent irregular immigration. And just in case you guys were worrying about Republicans who try to impeach him, well, 7 Republican senators crossed party lines to convict Trump during his second impeachment trial. That was when he was accused of inciting an insurrection at the Capitol on January 6, 2021. Only 3 of them remain in the Senate today, though. Meanwhile, in the House, just 2 of the 10 Republicans who voted to impeach Trump for insurrection remain. So yeah, things are definitely turning around for Trump. All we need to do now is pretty much stay vigilant, keep an eye on his enemies. You never know what these people may be up to. So you can be sure that we are going to keep you guys updated on all of the other news that matters to you guys. All you need to do is stay subscribed to the channel, keep that notification bell turned on. And hey, while you guys are at it, you may as well check out our other videos on the channel. I just uploaded another video about Hunter Biden's laptop, Trump, liberal media, and everything in between. Definitely watch that video right after this one. As always, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. Check out this video coming up here or our playlist down below, and we'll see you guys on the next one.